Welcome to Google Classroom Training, Day 1. In this training, we're going to look at some of the basic features of Google Classroom. You'll learn how to add assignments, how to add students, and how to create classes. Now, after we've signed in using our PPS staff email, you will come up to this screen. Only your screen will be blank. You will then click on the Add button and either join or create a class. In this case, you're going to create a class. When you create a class, you need to give it a name, a section, and a subject, although not all of those are required except for the class name. You can name it the name of the subject that you teach, or you can give it a specific name, something unique. It's completely up to you. We're going to name this course Technology Training. And I usually like to put a section in, either a period number or a section course number, just so that I can tell the difference between all of my courses. Otherwise, I have 4 world history courses, and if I don't specify their periods, I don't know which one I'm looking at. So this will be Day 1. And again, you can add a subject if you want, you don't have to. And then you're going to hit Create. And so as you can see, once you create a course, it's going to automatically bring you in to the next page of that course. If you want to go back to the screen in which we saw all of your classes, that's as easy as hitting this hamburger symbol and hitting Classes. That'll bring you back to your main page so that you can see all of your courses. Or if you want to go specifically to a course from the menu, you can just open the menu again and click on the course that you'd like to enter. On here, there are a lot of options, a lot of features. One of the features is the theme. As you can see, it automatically chooses a theme, and it usually chooses a theme based on your title. So when I put in world history, a world would come up. When I put in technology, obviously we see robots. But you don't have to stick with this theme if you don't want to. They have some really nice themes in their gallery. And if you scroll down, you can just pick pretty much any theme you like. Some go with subjects like science or biology, and others might go with art, music, but really they're any pictures you want. You also have patterns, so if you're into that, you can do that. Or you can upload your own photo. So perhaps you have pictures of places you've been to, or pictures of things you've done in class. You can always select a picture from your computer to upload. In your stream, you have options. First, we'll look at viewing work. On here, you can view all the work you've assigned to students in one place. Your stream may have more than just your work, and sometimes looking for all of that work gets a little bit confusing in your stream. So Google has created a place where you can look at work that hasn't been looked at yet, or look at work that you've already marked as reviewed. You also can add topics. So if you're teaching about the Renaissance, you can add the Renaissance as a topic, and then you'd be able to click on that topic and see everything you've posted in that topic. Your stream can show your current information or show streams that you may have deleted. It's completely up to you. This button allows you to then create an announcement, an assignment, a question, or reuse a post. But we'll go back to that a little bit later. Let's take a look at the student screen. So the student page is an important page because this is where you're going to add your students or see your students. You can add students two ways. The first way is to invite them. You can type in the student's email. If your school has invested in Google Applications for Education, then more than likely they'd already be in the database. So for example, if you type my name in, you will see that I'm already in the database for Google Applications for Education. I have two. So at any point you can click on that and invite. That's one way in which you can add students. A second way for you to add students is to provide your students with this class code right here. Students can then join a class using your code. Let me show you how that works quickly. We go back to the main screen. Remember you added a class by pressing this plus size button? Well, if you hit that button again, you will see Join Class. That code that I just showed you, you would provide it to the students and they would enter in that code. Once the code is entered in, the Join button will be highlighted and students will be able to join your class. I find that to be the easiest way, as sometimes kids don't check their emails as often as we'd like. So this can be done in class. You can model it for them and they can do it right there and add themselves right into your course. Then you have the option to edit students posting, commenting, you being the only one to post, or students can only comment. If you allow the students to post and comment, they will be able to post their assignments up and include comments. If you add students to only comment, they will not be able to post assignments. And obviously, if you're the only person that can post or comment, students will only be using Google Classroom as a viewing tool and not a work with class tool. Another interesting feature of Google Classroom is that you have the ability to email guardians to have access or summaries of what is going on in Google Classroom. So technically they won't be able to go into Google Classroom, but they can receive weekly summaries of their progress. So this button here allows you to include your class as part of their weekly summary. Of course, you have to slide the button over to the right in order for that option to be available. Let's take a look at an example of what a parent would be getting in a summary. So if you see, this parent will receive something that looks like this. It will have the date. It will say the weekly summary for the student, in this case Felix's weekly summary. For your class, it will show any missing work that Felix did not do and any assignments that are coming up due for Felix. But it will also include some of his other courses for the parent to see, and it will say pretty much the same information. So that's a nice little feature to have in order for parents to see assignments, due dates, and be able to encourage their students or their children to hand in assignments on time. The action button, when there are students in this area here, you will have this action button highlighted. You would have to click on a student or all students, and it would give you an option. There are three options. You can either email students, remove students, or mute students. There's also going to be an option to just email the student individually by their names once you've added the student or the student has joined the class. Let's take a look now at the About screen. In this screen, you are able to add classroom resources that your students may need. So, for example, perhaps you have an online textbook or PDFs of an online text that you'd like to keep in there at all times for students to have access to. You can add that class material and the kids don't have to look for it in their stream. They can automatically go to the About section and click on the links or the PDFs or any resources that you may add to this room. So let me show you how you can do that. So, for example, we have our textbook online, and this is really easy to do if you know where your resources are. So our textbook is called the Human Legacy Textbook. It's a history course. And this is through a website that I have access to that has all of the PDF files of the chapters of our textbook, as well as some of the resources that go along with it. And so basically what you do is you click on Add Materials and you give it a title. And since it is a link, we want to add a link, but there are other options. If you have it saved on a computer, you can attach it. You can also attach work from your Google Drive. So if you save files, PDFs, any other types of resources on your Google Drive, you can just connect from there. This allows you to connect to videos, and this will allow you to add links. So you click on that. We copied and pasted the link. So we're going to paste it on and then add the link. Okay, once you see this, then you can post, and now the students have access to the textbook. So basically your students will go in, click on the link, and have access to the textbook. And again, you can do this for any resource that you need throughout the year. That's going to conclude part 1 of this training. The next one, we're going to look at how to post assignments and some other basic features of Google Classroom.